My name is Rosa and I'm from Spiritual Aspects, and this is Lauren Kelly. Lauren Kelly is from White Light Universal, and she will be actually blessing us with all the wonderful stories and her journey in regards to helping the Nepal children in regards to the earthquake. Now, here with me, I'll have just first up, there is a book that's out and I've been reading it, and it's called Rising Above the Rubble. And in here, everything is actually in this book is real. So there's nothing is left uncovered, apart from the fact that there's so much more to learn in what's happening in Nepal with the children and the families and all the amazing people who are supporting this cause. So welcome, Lauren.
Thank you, Rosa.
You're welcome. Would you like to tell the viewers or share with the viewers a little bit about yourself? Like, who is Lauren? And how does Lauren fit in with White Light Universal and Raising Above the Rubble being the book? So it's all yours,
okay,
Lauren.
So I am Lauren Kelly. I am actually Christy Lyon's mum. So that's how I fit in with White Light Universal. I left my corporate job last year to work full-time with Christy, because White Light the publishing company is growing quite rapidly. And yeah, Christy and I travelled to Nepal last year and came across some beautiful people over there, and then found out more about Education Earthquake Nepal. So we just had to jump on board and help. If outside people don't help with the people in Nepal, nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. All the money that was donated to funds is caught up in red tape with the government. So how can we make, or how do we make people aware the difference between what you do in comparison to what is happening there already, like with the government, and also without this being a political interview, how is this actively possible? Like, how can we actually do something about it? Well, first of all, people could buy the book, which helps a great deal.
And how much is the book?
The book is $19. So because we deal directly with Education Earthquake Nepal, that is a privately owned organisation, and we have seen firsthand that the money goes directly to the people, to the children, to the school, rather than being caught up. I'm not interested in the red tape of it.
No.
After having learned what happens and finding that we could have a way that we could get in and help and really make a difference to these children's lives, we jumped on board, and we've not regretted a moment.
So everything you do goes directly to the children. Also, what the viewers are going to learn about Lauren is that Lauren does go and visit Nepal. So she actually goes there. She has been there already last year and been there firsthand, and I'm going to use the word played with them, because they are children, correct?
I did actually play with them. I played with them, I taught them, I laughed with them. The time spent with these children, who, by the way, don't speak a word of English, it's just amazing.
So how do you communicate?
The teachers, there are 2 teachers there that live-in teachers at the children's home. So let me just point out, Education Earthquake Nepal supports the local school, which needs to be rebuilt. The school was damaged in the earthquake, but to be perfectly honest, it already needed help, big help, before the earthquake.
So the earthquake just made it desolate.
The earthquake damaged it even more. One building had to be completely destroyed. So now that has been pulled down, and they're rebuilding and using the old building for the moment. There's also the children's home, which Juliet and Divya, who run Education Earthquake Nepal, were asked by the government to take on children from other areas where their schools were completely destroyed. There's nothing in those areas. So they've been asked to take on these children. It's not an orphanage, it's more like a hostel for children. These children came from these villages and they live in the children's home. So Education Earthquake Nepal is rebuilding the school, but it also supports these children, provides a safe place for them to live, feeds them, clothes them, and they actually have live-in teachers. So these live-in teachers speak English. They're the ones that translate for us.
So how did this, just backtrack a little bit, how did this come about? Like, where did this passion come from? Like Nepal, the children, or where did this come from? Did you just wake up just one morning and thought, I'm going to do this? Or has this been in the works for some time? Or did you always feel the passion to be wanting to reach out to an organisation, even to a person? Because I also believe, apart from this, you have interest in other areas as well.
I do. Look, when I left my corporate job to work with Christy in the publishing, which is to help people's dreams come true, I told people, my co-workers, that I was leaving my job to change the world.
And how do they respond to that? Because this is something that people say all the time, I'm going to change the world.
Well, actually, I don't think there was a single person that didn't say, yep, I believe you will.
Not one person said that?
Nobody said to me, oh, yeah, sure, whatever. Everybody said, yeah, I believe you will.
Because you will.
Because they know my passion for helping people, for promoting positivity, and I'm the one that walks into work on Monday and says, yes, it's Monday. I love Mondays.
And you've done it. So
yes,
you actually communicate directly with the children's home.
Yes, we do. We speak directly to Education Earthquake Nepal. I was supposed to go on a different overseas holiday that fell through, and I opened the world map and I said, where am I going to go? And I went, Nepal. Yeah,
so it's safe to say that you were divinely guided there.
I believe so. There's so many things that I could tell you about our trip to Nepal, our first trip, before we even met all of these amazing children. We actually met a man over there randomly who was just laughing at me because I was walking slowly behind people. He asked where my accent was from. When I told him Australia, he started to cry. We were divinely guided. We were not supposed to go to that village. So everything about the trip to Nepal was...
That's the most wonderful, and I'm going to say wow factor of it all, if you think about it. The wow factor is that you didn't know basically where you were heading. So you were actually going to one place. And this happens a lot in our personal journeys too, like on an everyday basis. We'd say, okay, I want to go there, but then our need takes us elsewhere.
Exactly.
Exactly. So what are you saying? Trust yourself? Trust the journey?
Trust the journey. This gentleman told us that his son went to Australia in 2000 and he hadn't heard from him for 11 years. We took a photo of this man, put it on Facebook, shared it, created a page and shared it. First of all, his other son contacted us and said, that's my brother that's missing, and that photo is my father. Yes, the short of the story is we found him. He's alive, living in Australia. Things happen. He was a young man when he came here and he lost contact with his family and he didn't know how to reconnect. So we just basically took A and B and put them back together, said, your family miss you, they love you, they want contact, and now they speak.
That's amazing.
Every day. And we met him. He lives in Sydney. We met him when we went to Sydney. I think
it's like you were meant to be there, you were detoured.
It was a detour and we came across him. So Nepal is,
I think it's sensational.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things about Nepal, even besides the children.
I think it's amazing. There's people there. That's what we need to remember. We're all people and we all share this same place, this same earth. We all share the same air. And that's what I use that terminology a lot. We actually breathe the same air. But another thing I would just like to touch on as well, because I do believe it's important for them to know, is that a little bit about Lauren. Who is Lauren here in Melbourne, Australia?
Gosh, mother of 2 children, grandmother of 7 beautiful children. All right, my kids are beautiful too, but the grandies, they're little. Look, I'm a publisher. I like to help authors' dreams come true.
Like myself.
Aspects of me.
Thank you.
Look, I'm just a normal human being who wants to change the world. I believe we can do it with compassion, kindness, and love. It's so easy. And if there's people in need,
look,
we can get together and we can change the world.
As simple as a book, $20. $20 buys a lot in Nepal.
Yes.
In a lot of places around the world, if you think about it.
Well, if you think about how much it costs in Australia to clothe and feed a child, we pay to each child that is sponsored, and White Light sponsor 4 children through Education Earthquake Nepal. We sponsor 1 who is a day student. We sponsor 1, my mother shares sponsors with her. There's another little girl, and there's a boy that we also sponsor with 2 other people around the world.
So you've got a lot of extended family.
I have. I've got a lot. Well, that and the man whose son we found. We've got a lot of Nepali family. We spend, for 1 child that lives at the children's home, $82, $83 a month. That gives them a place to live. It provides them with clothes, not just their school uniform, but day clothes. It provides them with food, nutrition. It provides them with school supplies and helps to pay for the teachers who live in and look after the children. There's a house mother that lives in, $82 a month. So that tells you how far.
And you've seen all these things though.
I have.
You have physically gone there.
And loved it.
And there's no loophole. Like those who do purchase the book, because we need to remember that the authors have actually put this together with their own, just with love, with their own free will. And well, yes, they are getting something out of it. They're getting joy and satisfaction in so sharing with the world. So I'm really going to stress that your $20, so just like my $20, I know has gone to basically teach children and given them supplies. And so then people like Lauren who do go there actually see where my $20 goes, where your $20 goes. And I just think
providing an education. A lot of Nepali children don't get an education.
No,
they don't.
We take for granted as well.
We take it for granted. Our children have to go to school or be homeschooled, but it has to be proven that that's happening. They don't have to go to school in Nepal. They don't have to get an education. And I believe that these children are part of the future if we provide them the opportunity to have a good education and also the love that they need. Then we're building the future.
I love this story. I'm going to share with you something inside the book, which I've had the utmost privilege to read. And not only is that it has a beautiful cover that is so real, but also the cover itself shows the rubble of the conditions of the classroom itself. And look, I'm a mother. Okay? Even if you're not a parent, we all have children who are connected with us, whether it's in the neighbourhood or in our family, even on Facebook, social network. We see children every day. Now, we wouldn't want to have our children go without food or water or clean clothes. I'm going to say the most important thing is love.
Absolutely.
Okay? You can give a child food, clothes and water, which are necessities for them to live on a daily basis, but without love and dedication, I don't feel that there's much else.
Well, we're not building beautiful children.
No, we're not.
They're going to grow into adults.
I would like to show, if you're happy for me to show a little bit, I'm just going to flick through. Look at the front, just a lovely read up, so you can take your time and read that. The book is amazing. And how many pages you would say? I know they're not numbered, but they're good, about 50, 40 pages.
Yeah, probably.
It's quite a lengthy book.
It's each of the children at the children's home at the time of printing and the children at the school.
It's a short biography of all the children. So you see their photographs. And by the way, they each have permission. They have permission to have these photographs shared in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And each child here has a story to tell. And the one that I was actually drawn to is this young man called Rashan. And his simplicity of his talking is that I like deer and cats. The games I like best are football and skipping. Now, I had tears in my eyes when I read those two sentences because immediately I thought of my two boys, they're children. And Rashan, like so many other children in this children's home, no different from your children, no different from how we were.
They're not.
As children.
And Rashan is actually one of the boys that we share sponsor.
And I was drawn to Rashan.
Yeah, I know. And Rashan's story probably tells a lot of what children suffer over there. He came from a village 400 kilometres away from Pokhara, which is where this school is. And he had a lot of trouble hearing when he got there.
Show people this.
And
there we go.
They don't have easy access to medical treatment over there. At the children's home, they do. They have a doctor that comes and checks the children and makes sure everything's okay. And they couldn't understand. And, like if they shook Rashan's head, he could hear a little better. Well, the doctor had a look and he had an insect that had laid eggs in his ear. Gross. Which has now been removed, and hopefully we'll find that there's not permanent damage. He never complains that whole time, and if he hadn't have been at this children's home where he is now, they could have been there forever and caused irreparable damage.
And this is where your funds are directly going to
making sure that these children get this access to medical treatment.
There's no middle person in between here. Now, apart from Rashan, there's so many other children in this book who each have a story to tell with a delightful photo showing them exactly how they are. Now, where can they actually purchase this book, or where can they learn? Actually, more importantly, where can people online learn more about not only your cause but everything that you do?
They can go to our website, which is whitelightuniversal.com, whitelightuniversal.com.au. Either will get you there. And there's White Light for Humanity, which is our charity work that we do. And there's a page on there for Education Earthquake Nepal, tells you more about Education Earthquake Nepal. And there's the Education Earthquake Nepal gallery, so you can go and have a look at photos of the time that I spent with the children, with the painting. I took a whole suitcase over last time I went.
That story about the painting, I'm an artist for people that know who I am. And I asked Lauren, how did they react to painting? And this is Lauren's response.
The children, I had to show them what to do. These children, and, some of them were as young as 6. The oldest was 13. They'd never painted before.
Never painted?
Never. I had to dip the paintbrush in the paint and put it onto the page and show them what to do. They all, first of all, we painted the hands, did handprints. They all gave me their handprints to bring home.
Oh.
Then they painted houses and flowers and the Nepal flag, because they're pretty proud of being Nepali. And they also gave me those to bring home, which I will treasure. Yeah. And one of the funny things, one of the photos, which is on the website, 2 of the young boys, we spread the paintings out after they'd finished so that they could dry, so we could stack them all up. And they just squatted down and watched the paint dry. It gave a whole new meaning to watching paint dry. They were so happy.
And we use that terminology, watching paint dry, so loosely, but yet
I've never had so much joy in watching paint dry.
So they literally watched paint dry.
They literally watched it.
There you go. That is another touching and very real story of things that our children and what we do on a daily basis. And I'm going to say we take it for granted, because
absolutely.
Imagine not being able to have any of the materials to be able to draw and paint or express, because we're all about expression. Imagine not being able to feel in your hands what paint feels like, how it feels to even hold a crayon. Imagine your child not being able to hold a crayon.
Well, they'd never had crayons. In fact, I have a friend who runs a children's educational store, and she gave me a load of stuff to take over: crayons, dice in different shapes, counters. We take it for granted when our children start school. They have those little plastic discs to learn to count.
Simplicity.
These children, one of the teachers said to me, "We'll never forget this time. These children have never had so much fun with learning." And
they're waiting for you. Go back again, Lauren.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back. I love Nepal. So on the website you can learn all about that. You can see photos of the children. I'm actually going to put some new photos up of building progression.
Wonderful. So there you go. Head over to that website. Everything is there. So it's whitelightuniversal.com.au,
Yes.
and everything you would like to learn or to know about raising above the rubble, the children in Nepal, everything that White Light Universal has to offer you is exactly universal, meaning it's accessible to everyone.
Yes.
And any questions, I'm sure there's a contact or a direct button to social media.
There's a contact button on the page, so
Yes.
people can contact us and ask
Direct
as many
number.
questions as they
The
want.
number, email,
There's an email address. They can contact us
Wonderful.
through the email address, or they can contact us on White
Facebook.
Light for the Soul or White Light Publishing House on Facebook.
Which is on Facebook too. So there's multiple ways of contacting and supporting this. So I'm going to say as simple as a book. Now, who doesn't love a good book? Yeah? It's something that I would say something that our children would actually love as well. I'm passionate about starting with our young.
Yeah.
And
our children could learn so much from these children. Our children these days are, I want this, I want this, I want this.
Which is the way it goes.
It's normal. It's just normal.
Yeah.
But when you go over there and see these children who, they don't want anything. They're just happy to have what they need. And they're the most joyful children. They really are.
Just another
they're beautiful
thing, just a question here.
Manisha,
she's another one. She's just amazing. Look at her face. Yeah, it's almost like this book, it's a photo album. Okay, it's just like putting together all your beautiful memories of your family, of your friends from when you were a small child to now. Envision that in an album. This is exactly what this book is.
To these children, it's a source of pride. I took a copy of the book over when I went to visit in September, and I got a photo with every single child looking at their photo in the book, and the pride on their little faces just to see that they're in a book.
It's beautiful. It is
beautiful.
Also, just as we're heading towards the end of this beautiful conversation, I'm getting so much out of it, is that where to now? Okay, after, like, for example, after today, I'm sharing this with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the link to the book. Where to now after that? What is your goal? When would be your next adventure to go to visit these children? Because I know you love going and giving them a personal hug. So the thing is, Lauren actually meets these children do exist.
They do. They're beautiful.
They're as real as you and I, and Lauren actually knows them. If you head over to the website, you'll see photos.
Well,
Lauren,
the thing is, I would love to go to Nepal. After I came back the first time, I was here 1 month and I booked another ticket. Now, I don't work in my corporate job anymore, so I don't have the funds to travel there as often as I'd like. Anybody can go there and meet these children. Anybody can go there and stay with Juliet and Divya, who run a lodge there.
So it's doable. Basically, if you feel the need to want to go, that's another thing. Perhaps contact Lauren, and Lauren can give you contacts.
Look, there's so much that you can get out of it. Not only do you get to stay in a lodge that's 5 minutes down the hill from the one of the World Peace Pagodas, you've got mountains. I love mountains. Mountains right across, and you've got the beautiful lake view as well. So it is a stunning part of the world, and to spend time with the children was the biggest bonus of all. And
you're able to openly spend time with the children as well, in their environment, of course, in a safe environment.
You can visit the school. Yeah, I visited the school. All of the children sang me their national anthem. I needed scarves. I needed 30-something scarves to take over with me, and I got to give each of the children a scarf each. And
so you knitted scarves as
Yeah.
well. So you actually do all sorts of things. You go there with suitcases. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would have taken more if I could have afforded it. But I've actually got a friend who goes over there 2 or 3 times a year, and because he travels there so regularly, he leaves his clothes over there. So he's always willing to take a case over directly to the kids.
This has just been, Lauren, an amazing experience, not only for myself, it's been enlightening for everyone. Everyone will be listening to this story, will be able to take something back with them. And it's also our conversation that we've had. It's something that you would like to listen to with the whole family, like sit down with the children and let them take what they want or what they wish from this interview. It's a great time to be able to share with family. You know, we do have quality time together with our family. We do have TV time or reading a book time. This is where I feel this conversation comes in. And the fact, I mean, children love receiving gifts, okay? Our children love gifts. Why not invest in a gift that knowing
that does so much.
They're sharing. And children are so compassionate too. If you have to tell them, I'd love to buy you a book, and this book actually helps other children.
Well, one of the things that we want to take through in the future is to get more compassion in the schools. So we hope to actually take this on the road at some stage to visit schools and teach people more about cultures. It's good for children
all
to
the
learn
pictures
cultures.
are here. And what you were seeing here are photographs that you probably would have taken, the people that you know would have.
Juliet took all of the photos in the book.
So these conditions, and also I'm going to say it's not just the sad conditions, it's also the happy photos in this book that makes you smile from ear to ear.
Sure does.
To know that life is it's
precious.
It is precious. It evolves. It's constantly evolving. And I like using the word enlightened, not only because this is an enlightened conversation, but these children enlighten us.
They do, and we're giving them the chance to enlighten the future by giving them an education.
I love this. Lauren, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
And
it's been a pleasure talking to
would you like us to close up with the viewers? Would you like to run things through?
Thanks for listening, everybody. Please get on board and support Education Earthquake Nepal. Buy a copy of our book and help these children grow into the future. They are just beautiful people. All of the Nepali people are beautiful people. These children are gorgeous. So whitelightuniversal.com.au, you can head to the bookshop from there and get yourself a copy. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you so much for watching and listening, and love to read all the comments and any other questions you would like to address in regards to this matter or anything really. Come on board and say hello, and please share this video. And if you feel that you can purchase a book for $20, in fact it's $19.
It's $19.
$19, which goes directly to the actual home, because on the web page there's a button.
There's a PayPal button to donate. If people can't afford $19, they can only afford $5. Let me tell you, $5 goes a long way.
But that goes directly, so you're avoiding the fees here. So if we're going to talk about the nitty-gritty, you're actually avoiding fees here. So Lauren of White Light Universal have actually found a way of eliminating unnecessary fees, which we all hear about at times can actually set back a lot of people from moving forward. So they've eliminated the fees that are here in Australia. So basically it goes straight to Nepal, straight to Juliet.
It goes straight to Juliet at Heart Nepal, which is for education.
And that's it. So it's only one small set of fees. How much would the fees be approximately?
Look, it depends on how much people donate, but it's standard PayPal fees. It's no different than
straightforward. So they've done all their homework, eliminated all the unnecessary, let's just say, mishaps and misunderstandings that people have when it comes to these type of organisations.
It makes it more transparent too. They're not donating to White Light; they're donating directly.
Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm going to say I wish you all love and peace. Your faith is what leads you to your next journey in life, and also never give up hope, as I believe is something that's so precious. spiritual aspects is part of who I am, and also in order to share with you, Lauren from White Light Universal, under the humanitarian part of White Light, is here to share with us that there's so much more out there. And please set your fear aside, just jump in and just imagine the joy and the love to be able to give a child, a family. But it's the child, because this child grows up to be an adult. So imagine the stories that they'll live to tell. Thank you so much, and take care. Lots of love from me.